Welcome to the Hook Pod. I'm Chunk.
And I'm the Chippy. And on today's episode, we have John Digiusto, the Italian stallion. How are you, Johnny?
I'm really good, Shane. How you going? Thanks for that.
I thought you'd enjoy that, mate.
Nice to have you on board.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
John is a friend of ours, actually a friend of my son's, and has worked for us in the past. Vale's Fish and Burger Grill. Would that be right, John?
That's right.
That was the last business we had in Perth before we came down here and to the Great Southern and before Chunk joined us. John was an integral part of his schooling and work life was Vale's Fish and Burger Grill.
Yeah.
I think you're the only one out of the three friends that actually did any schooling, weren't you, mate? All the rest were just fishermen.
Yeah, I ended up, I remember that year. That was the year I took a gap year and all I did was, I was like 18 sort of area after just finishing school and I kind of just dropped out of university and all I did was go fishing. And yeah, then ended up, doing sort of other things. But I remember that year a lot of fishing with Brad and Steve-O.
Yep.
That's all we did, 4 or 5 times a week.
And worked a little bit in the fish shop so you could get a free feed.
That's right, yeah. Eat as much hake as I possibly could and every now and then snag a piece of jewie.
Not a bad way to go.
I was pretty excited to eat the jewie.
Good year.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, really fun year of my life. Yeah, really carefree.
It was actually good when you guys come and join Brad and work for us because we were able to get away and have a great holiday overseas in Vancouver. And Vale's Fish and Burger Grill was the busiest while we were away. How did that happen, John?
Well, I'm not really sure how it happened. I remember it being a really, really hot week and me and Brad, I was sleeping at your house at the time.
Christmas time?
That's right. And all we did was, if we weren't working at Vale's and organising the shop, we were fishing. But the fishing kind of became a second priority to the shop. I remember that. That was very, very busy and we had
Bicton, East Fremantle, all fishing around there?
Yeah, just generally hanging under Stirling Bridge, going for whiting. That time of the year, we probably would have gone for crabs and probably catching brim and flathead.
I think we had the little dinghy then too, didn't we? You guys probably would have been pumping the dinghy a bit.
Yeah, I remember the little bathtub.
Yep.
The really small one, and I was trying to convince Brad, let's go to Rotto, with it. And he was like, he goes, do you realise we're going to die? And I was like, oh, who cares, man? Like, I'll go swim 7 Ks back. Like, it's not that hard. Like, 10 Ks back.
You guys knew how to dive, so that was all right.
Nothing scares you when you're 18.
Yeah, no, I wasn't stressed at all, I was like trying to convince Brad, it's okay, we're not going to capsize, it's fine, mate. But, in hindsight, after learning a lot about, fishing over the course of my life, having a bathtub and going out to Rotto's with a 15 horsepower, whatever it was.
Yep, 15 horses.
15
yep,
horsepower,
right.
just absolutely crazy sort of thinking.
Yep.
But, we were so young, we didn't really care. We were just having a good time.
Yep, and none of you died, which was good. So
we've all done that.
It's still alive.
Yeah, we're still alive.
We've all done that.
And everyone's still fishing. I don't know if Steve is, but
I'm not sure. We got to try drag him out here.
He's gone AWOL.
Yeah, he's gone a bit AWOL at the moment, but I'm sure he'll figure out about this and he'll realise it as a come back, come have some fun, mate,
Yeah.
But he's just in the army at the moment for the listeners and he's just enjoying his service within the army, so you can't really blame him too much for his devotion to his country and his hard work.
So you started off liking fishing. It obviously came from your father by the sound of it.
Yeah, definitely my father, yeah.
And where did Dad used to take you?
Well, probably my earliest memories are like 4, 5, 6, catching scalies at the E-Shed in Fremantle, just bagging out on scalies and going to Woodman's Point and catching gardies and squidding. I remember he used to have a boat back then, so I used to go out in the boat with him and go squidding.
Great spot, Woody's Point for all that.
Yeah.
Crabbing, squidding.
On Parmelia Bank. I have a lot of good memories of that. We still do it to this day after all this time. And eventually it transferred into other sort of fishing, which Dad was doing at the time. And learning how to catch bait is before you go catch the bigger stuff off the cliff sort of thing, yeah.
And when was your first trip up north? You're a bit of a Quabba station person.
Yeah, me and the old boy have been going to Quabba since I was 11. During that time, we had a really good year in 2007, I think it was, yeah, and we kind of just bagged out at High Rock and just kept catching heaps of fish. And I remember when I was younger, I sent an ad there was a competition running in the West Australian or something for the fishing magazines. And I sent an application in saying look what I caught at 11 years old with my dad sort of thing. And, ended up winning it. Me and Dad ended up winning it.
Good stuff.
That's still on the family on the family wall sort of thing. Mum got it all photographed, and I still have the photo. Obviously, like, and I got a big buff head. And
what was the fish? Was there a fish?
There was 2 Spaniards.
Oh,
I was like doing everything I could to hold up a 20 odd kilo one, and my old boy was holding up.
That's a big effort as
yeah,
well.
yeah, I was holding it, like just like sort of thing, like almost dying trying to do it, and the old boy was holding up like a 25 plus kilo. So like the fish are bigger than me, and I'm just like trying to hang on as much as I could, but I had a big smile on my face, sort of thing.
That's the spot to catch them off that rock.
Yeah, High Rock's a very well known spot.
Were you ballooning or anything like that, or were you just
I think that
casting?
Yeah, that trip for us was exclusively ballooning at the time. We weren't really aware of using saltiguras and that fast retrieval method back then. We were using like the 850 pen and that's a slow retrieve. It takes forever, even if you as fast as you could wind it. It's just too slow. You need that really fast retrieval.
Keep away from the sharks.
Yeah, or just to engage the mackerel and the pelagic species to get really excited to come nail it. Because if it's slow, or like if you've got a Spaniard behind you and you're winding slow, or you slow down, they're just going to just go, I'm not interested, and go somewhere else. But if you go faster, they go crazy. So me and the
few Halco lures.
Yeah, we were using back then, the early days, we were using like Raiders and Knights and that sort of stuff, and then eventually you can still use them if you know there's heaps of sharks around and you're happy just to like lose gear. Like the premium is like the Rapala X-Rap.
Yep, that's
the premium ones we use these days. You can cast them out the furthest. We got the wind behind you, and you got bray and mono and all that, and It the way it swims in the water, it swims better than all the other sort of lures, and you got a massive. So you got to have the fast reels as well.
Yep.
If you don't have that, you're not going to catch it. It's just you probably could. You're not going to get the casting distance. All these sort of issues.
And do you need cliff gaffs and that sort of stuff from that rock?
Yep. So from High Rock, you need. You probably get away. You get away with a pole gaff at High Rock. It's quite compared to other ledges. You can get away with a pole gaff, but we've kind of transferred mostly exclusive to cliff gaff solely because of how easy it is and the way we've got it set up. We've been, Dad and I have been cliff fishing together for nearly 20 years. There is no sort of difficulty. Dad's getting a bit older these days, so he has to kind of when he catches the big baldies or something that tires him out, he has to give it to me. And
John, sort this out for me, please.
He literally just goes, "Oh, I can't be bothered anymore. Here, take it," sort of thing. And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man." Like now, I've got to pull it out of a cave.
When I bring the 30 kilo fish over the side of our boat, I usually get the young fellas to give me a hand too. Just to help out a bit.
Yeah,
we don't have a side door in there or anything like that.
Yeah, we've had fishing trips with my old boy, just kind of. Sits by the filleting table and all he does is fillet the whole time. And I'm the one just catching the bag limit for everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm at that stage of my life where I'm the youngest. I'm, fit, strong. I don't get too tired. But my old boy, he may get a bit tired, sort of thing. And hanging over the edge of a big cliff isn't something. As you get older, you kind of get a bit more nervous about doing. And I'm not saying my dad's nervous about it, but he's definitely a bit more wiser about it.
Just got to be a bit more careful what he's doing.
He's. He's careful.
As we get older, we all get a little bit unsettled on our feet sometimes, especially when you're on rocks and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a few holes in those rocks.
Oh, definitely. There's heaps of ankle breakers. My old boy, once I remember, when I was probably 14, we were at number 1 rock, a pretty well-known rock at Quabba. We ended up landing a 32.5 kilo Spaniard, which is quite a big one. But he fell into a hole, broke his I think he tore his ATFL or something, and he just kept fighting the fish with a busted ankle. And he's just like, I'm just watching him. He's just like,
gotta get the fish in.
Yeah, you can imagine what he's like. He's like, get here, get here,
John, get over here.
I was so useless back then because I was like 14 kilos. Like I remember,
you were 14 and 14 kilos.
14 years old. And I remember just being like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is, like where's a smaller fish, because it's just too heavy. Everything about it when you're that young is a bit too advanced for a person that age, I think. But I think having that exposure at like 11 years old, getting exposed to cliff fishing and, subsequently going nearly every year, you become quite confident at being on the cliff.
You got 20 years experience and
you don't.
There's no other way to get it.
No, there's no other way other than just to go up there and
keep doing it.
Give it a go.
Other species off the rock?
The fish we like is obviously the Spaniards, pinkies, baldies. Then you get your estuary cods, Rankin cods, coral trout, and Spanish flag. Tend to really focus our attention on those species. Not like just at a preference, we don't really like eating cobia or mulloway or
No.
tuna. That's just not what we like to do. But other people we go with are happy to take them, which
Yep.
is cool for them.
Is it still a yearly trip for your dad?
Yeah, he went last year
Yeah.
without me because I had my final exams of university.
Yep.
It was a pretty rough time. And but he went up.
Was
and
that rough because you couldn't go, or rough?
Yeah, probably both. Probably
exams?
both. Yeah, rough. It's my final exams.
You would have been thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
upset. Yeah. And he gets back, starts talking to me about it. I'm like, mate, I've still got.
I don't want to hear about it.
I've still got my finals of university, mate. Like, he's starting to give me the shits, mate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm busy. I'm sitting here, like, well, you're talking about all the fun you've had. I'm not having any fun, you know? Like, I'm sitting here going, what am I doing?
Let me go back in my hole and study.
Yeah, I know. Just don't talk to me. But
Tell people about how dangerous it is on rocks.
cliff fishing is notoriously known for being incredibly dangerous. I think it's known as probably the most dangerous sport in Australia. A lot of people die every year because of it. Some ledges are more notorious than others, and so cliff fishing on the granite boulders down south is incredibly dangerous, just based solely off the
Well, the statistics for a start.
the statistics are enormous.
Yeah.
Even in New South Wales, a lot of people die out there. In Western Australia, a lot of people die out there. In the south and the north. So,
Salmon holes down here in Albany.
Yeah, we get one a year on average, I reckon.
yeah, it's people.
Easily.
People don't realise how dangerous it really is. Like, they don't. I just don't think there's much education surrounding how, like, you have to get away from the cliff. Where if you fall in or something, you have to get away from the cliff.
Yeah.
You can't just go climb
get
it.
sucked under
Yeah,
it.
you
All that
can't
sort of-
just go, like, just push away from the cliff. There's generally a life ring somewhere or some sort of a life jacket or something. Or hopefully you're a good swimmer. The advice is always, be good at swimming because you may have to be out there for a while. Or
PFDs are a great idea.
You just about shouldn't go, should you, if you're not reasonable?
You got to really, weather can be unpredictable as well. So it's really easy not to go fishing if it's 4 meter swell or 5 meter swell. It's
Yeah, you
pretty
don't
easy.
go, yeah.
It's pretty easy to convince yourself but when it's like that medium sort of
Fishable.
fishable category, but you don't really know if a big set's going to come or something. That sort of stuff does exist.
And that happens up there on that rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
High Rock is a notoriously known one for ending people's lives and their fishing journeys and all that sort of stuff. Other rocks up there like Camp Rock, notoriously known for being incredibly
That's why
dangerous.
there's a big sign that you see on YouTube a lot that says King Waves
Yeah,
just before you get there.
Yeah, king waves will get you. Yeah, you have to be really astute to them and paying attention. Even the most experienced people can get done. So you have to pay attention, and have safety plans in place. And all this stuff comes with time now. I'm a big believer. Like, my father and I go up now. I'll have my Garmin on a thing so I can call for an SOS. Or you have to have something because a lot of these places are remote. Especially Dirk Hartog is where we kind of go. And so if there's some sort of medical emergency, or because me and my dad generally fish in pairs, we have other people that come with us on trips, which is nice. But there's always that risk of, like, if you watch someone go in, you have to keep your eyes on them in order to establish what to do. But you have to also go get help.
Yeah,
so you can't get help if one person's looking at someone, and then you have to leave that person. Like, that's you don't want to be that person who's lost obs on someone. Like, so that's my
A
contingency
personal
plan.
locating device is great for that.
Yeah, just the
You
emergency
set it off,
service,
someone's going to come.
They will come. Like, if you
yeah.
call the SOS button, they're going to be like, well, it's not a joke. Everyone knows it's not a joke on the island, and people take it out of all ledges. People take it seriously. No one takes it as like a piss take. And
Anywhere up and down the coast? Anywhere other places you like to go?
my main focus, and I tend to really enjoy Quabba, Dirk Hartog, and Steep Point.
Yeah.
They're the three most, I guess, iconic land-based game fishing spots in Western Australia.
Absolutely.
With my limited time off I have per year, I tend to focus my attention on those areas. So whichever one me and Dad book, we go do. So this year in December, me and the old boy are going to Quabba. Just based off the way my timetable is with life, it's the best time to get off. We would love to do the April, May trips where the weather's beautiful. We would love to do the June, July trips where there's massive Spaniards, but a lot of what we target these days tends towards the demersals. We never really had a problem with catching our bag limit with Spaniards. As your listeners may know, you may only get 10 kilos of pelagic and 10 kilos of demersals.
Yep.
So we tend to focus our attention on the demersals. Spaniards are quite easy to, as long as there's no sharks.
Plus you get a lot of meat out of them when you get a decent size.
You get like 70% recovery rate on them. So it's not too difficult to
get your
with
10 kilos.
Once you catch a 20 kilo one and then you catch another 50, that's it. You got the bag limit.
Yeah, you're done.
But it's still fun. You want to catch them on the spin. So we generally preference our time spinning rather than ballooning, but we still can easily balloon it. We bring the gear for ballooning.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to catch them on the spin.
I think we had an interesting time last year at Coral Bay. We didn't have any trouble getting our quotas for pelagics, did we, Jeremy?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there.
Sucks to be you.
I was here working.
Oh, you'll go next year.
You guys just troll a lot because I'm not much of a boat fisherman.
We were actually bottom fishing.
Oh, bottom fishing.
We couldn't catch. I haven't caught that many cobia in my life.
Oh, wow.
And they were coming up and coming up and coming up, and we just had to keep moving and moving and moving so we could get onto something decent, you know.
You just keep catching cobia. Go all that way to go catch cobia.
We caught a lot of mackerel as well, but we didn't have any trouble getting pelagics, but we were trying to, you know, get reds, and we were trying to get goldies and things like this, and we just kept on bringing up cobia.
I mean,
that was a bit sad.
Yeah, me and my old boy, he does not want cobia at all. He's no interest in it because what bag limit we have, we want it 10 kilos to be Spaniard. Not cobia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like putting it as tuna. It's like, what is this, mate? I don't want a bloody bluefin. I don't care. You know, get or longtails or any of that nonsense. Like, chuck it back in. You know,
and it's good eating mackerel. I mean, we've been using it for 22 years in our businesses, and I can't say enough about it. It's a good fish to freeze when you bring back, and it's great eating. You can do whatever you like with it, actually.
Probably, I think it's I think it is the most diverse fish you can cook with in terms of
very versatile.
Everything. Yeah.
No, it's great. So when we lost you after Vale's Fish and Burger Grill, you did a few different things. What did you get up to?
Well, as you may know, Shane, you signed a form saying that, you wrote a letter of reference for me to join the army. So, you helped me out with that. So I got a job in the army for a few years there.
Must have been a good letter.
Yeah, must have. I mean, I joined the infantry, mate. They take people who can eat crayons, you know. So. No, I shouldn't say that.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 5 years.
Yep.
So I was a young infantry soldier in the 1st and 2nd Battalion.
And
reasonable stint.
Something you were telling me the other day, you had issues with your eyes. Is that the reason why you left?
Well, it's one of the big reasons. Yeah, I ended up one day losing my eyesight. I had a spontaneous retinal detachment, and then I had emergency surgery. I got in my left eye, and then I got my vision back, and that was a pretty memorable moment in my life. I got my vision back, and opened my eyes. Was like, wow, like
would have been a pretty scary thing for a minute there.
Yeah.
And it did open your eyes. What did it make you do after?
I ended up, telling my battalion commander I wanted to be a doctor, and so I ended up, letting him know that I was going to get into medical school, and so within a year I was in med school, and I left
to specialise in.
I'm at the end of my medical training at med school now, so I'm in my 6th year. So nowadays I kind of have to, as you go through medical training, you kind of have to figure out where you want to go. I would like to go into ophthalmology, become an eye surgeon myself, and hopefully do the same surgeries that I was gifted to have in such short. I mean, like in such a.
And that's your passion because of what happened to you.
Yeah, I think, but it also agrees with me. And like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of personalities, in terms of what we do, in terms of the way it's run, in terms of the work we do, it really agrees with me. You help everyone. You can do it at your sort of pace. There's plenty of work. You have your emergencies. You have your, it's very difficult.
It's a hard slog what you're doing at the moment, because you were telling me you've got to do all this study, and
that's right. Yeah,
there's no pay at the end. Well, there's pay at the end of it, but you got to be qualified.
Yeah. So
which happens next year.
Yeah, starting next year, I'll be working as an intern at Fiona Stanley.
And will that give you more time to go fishing again?
I intend on going fishing with my old boy quite a lot. I think I've missed out on a good 11 years of fishing with him as much as we wanted to. So I think for him and I, it's going to be a bit of a enjoyable experience. Sort of, I got 4 days off. Let's just quickly bust up to Quabba and try and nail a few Spaniards, sort of thing. And my partner and my mother is very very supportive of that sort of endeavour, as well as bait fishing around Fremantle. We can't really discredit how fun it is to catch squid in the Parmelia Bank on a beautiful afternoon.
No,
where it's like really, we got the sunset. and it's just peaceful.
So you need a job at Fremantle Hospital or somewhere like
Yeah,
that.
there's an ophthalmology department down there. I've been trying to gun for that. After, don't worry about that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, it's not the sailing club's not too far away, so I intend
Get
on
yourself a
getting
nice little unit in Fremantle there somewhere.
that. Yeah, I don't
That'd
know.
be great.
Oh, I've been trying to G up East Fremantle because you get the boat ramp.
No, that's a good
So
spot there.
I've really thought about
That's
this.
going back to the old stamping ground, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
old fish and chip days.
how the whole journey
Go have an
changes.
extended lunch break and throw the rod in.
Imagine that. No, not as a junior. Unfortunately, you got to work, so very hard to get away. But on like my days off, if the weather's good, no excuse, mate. Or even before work. No
Any other
problems.
type of fishing you like to do?
I enjoy spearfishing. Over the years, I've really dabbled into
Oh,
spearfishing.
you've jumped in the water a bit, haven't you, with Brad?
Yeah, Brad and I
Steve-O?
have gone in the water a fair
I know
bit of
Steve-O
times.
doesn't get in the water. Yeah.
Nah, Steve-O's a bit of a... He's
Yeah.
not really...
We'll just call him a land-based.
Yeah, he's a bit
person.
of, yeah, but
Yeah.
Well, that's reasonable, you know.
Don't say what you
But
really think.
That being said, I have memories of me and Brad. I think we were spearing him around Muse stones, and he's probably going to get a bit mad at me about this, but
Come on, tell us. Tell
we
us.
saw a dusty whaler, and it was a first time seeing a shark that big in the water.
It's a white pointer.
Yeah, and I never forget, he was like screaming at me and
Yeah.
freaking out. Like we're like 18 years old sort of thing, and he's like freaking out, and I'm just like, I don't know what this shark is. I've never read about it, but it's not a bronzy, it's not a tiger, it's not a white pointer, it's not a bull shark. So it's none of those ones that are going to eat me.
We're
so
right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what my brain was like. Focus on the things that can kill me, not the ones that just exist,
Yeah.
And so I was like,
The ones you can eat.
yeah, that's right. And I was like, it's not an oceanic whaler or whatever it's called.
Oh, oceanic white.
Yeah, the other ones I'm talking about, the ones that
Yeah.
ate all the people on Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not one of those. And I was like, that doesn't exist here. So I was like, I don't care. But Brad's freaking out. I'm like, man, I think we're just diving for salmon or something. So we're just shooting salmon like a bunch of young blokes just
Yep.
because we don't really care, Like when
Yeah.
you're that age, you just want to have fun. And
Yep.
but I remember that memory where Brad was freaking out at me, and I was just like, what's the problem, man?
Just a shark, mate.
It's just a shark,
It wouldn't bother him too much these days.
Yeah, no. If he saw one these days, mate, he wouldn't give a rat's. He would just look the other way, mate. You don't even bother.
Yep.
Well, then our adventuring, took me North Queensland, did some diving up there, and then doing diving down here. I remember Brad and I went diving at Chains Beach.
Abalone.
Yep.
Yeah, for abalone. Oh yeah, one time we went. I remember being so stupid. We went out on like a 3.5, 4 meter swell day, going to dive for abalone, and at the bottom of the ocean, I'm like on the verge of vomiting from seasickness. I get to the surface, I vomit, and I'm like, "What am I doing?
This
man?
is fun.
What am I doing, man?"
You wouldn't have had good viz.
No, it was shocking visibility, but we were just so stupid, Like we didn't have someone to be like, "Listen here, you idiot." You know what I mean? Like,
I think he used to jump in the water quite a lot when he first got down here, and then everyone started telling him stories, and then he likes a boat better.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty-
down here now. He'd
Yeah.
rather keep the diving to up north.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly down here. Even I'm not keen on jumping in the water here. Where we went in Chains Beach a year before, unfortunately, a young fella got eaten.
Yeah.
And
that's-
when we were there, we were just like, oh my god, there's blue groper everywhere. There's everything here. Like, let's
That's
just
why
go.
they're
Yeah, no,
there, mate.
obviously,
There's no
'cause
one in there.
No one's
spearing.
diving, just shooting them, sort of, and that's reasonable because we're we didn't even. I don't even think we knew or we didn't even care, But that's like most young people. That's just what we do.
Yeah. It's like the worst place to go.
Oh, he come back.
It is literally the worst place to
Yeah,
go.
down
I know.
here.
And here we are just diving Chains Beach. Just
He comes back with another bloke from Cape Rich one day. It's in the early days, like 9 years ago, and says, "Oh," I said, "Where you been?" He says, "Oh, we've been diving out at Cape Rich. There's a seal colony out there. It's the diving's fantastic." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Oh yeah, we bagged out. We did this, did that. We had to walk about 2 kilometres and then jump in." And I said, "You're diving near a seal colony."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're just like,
The
He,
biggest
he
red
hasn't
flag.
been out there since.
yeah, just primo level stupid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I diving with seals. I remember doing that in Hopetown, I think with Brad one time, and I got caught in a rip, and all of a sudden I'm 300 meters offshore. You look down, it's just black. There's nothing there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you get that eerie feeling of like,
Yeah, someone watching me.
yeah, I've fucked up, man. Like, I shouldn't be here. This
Yeah.
is not the sort of place you want to be like, just hanging out.
Yeah,
And I'm like, it's those moments you look back on, you just go, man, like, I was so stupid, like, I really shouldn't have been there doing, like, there's nothing to do there except go catch abalone. You know what I mean? There's plenty of abalone. You know what I mean? What am I doing? You know, but
Plenty of abalone closer to the beach too.
yeah, do not need a big. I got caught in the rip, and
Yeah.
it was a nice eerie moment in my life. But yeah,
What are you doing down here in the Great Southern, mate?
I'm doing an ophthalmology elective with the Lions Outback Vision. We have a van where we pretty much travel from town to town in Western Australia and provide ophthalmic or eye medicine to people. So patients who suffer with like cataracts or glaucoma, retinal pathologies, anything, or like, need screening, heaps of stuff. You can imagine there's a lot of diseases and things that happen with the eye. And this service here provides that service.
Good training.
Yeah.
Excellent training. Yeah, you get to see a massive diversity in presentations and at different levels of disease progression. And so as a junior, that's pretty second to none in your sort of training you can receive.
It's a great experience for you. And
Yeah, and I get to have beers with you most nights. And
Now, I got a feeling that you might be heading over to Hopetown on this long weekend to go and see the Hopetown hooker.
Yeah, well,
Hey?
the pest from the west, mate. Yeah,
And get him to drag the old cat out of the shed.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's good and we get to
Does
go
it look
out.
all right on the weekend?
yeah, you'll be right.
Why, are we allowed to catch jewies at this time of the year? Am I allowed to get one? Or
Down here you can, yeah.
Yeah, good. I want to
Yeah.
get one. I haven't caught a Jew in a long time. And
You might struggle down there.
it's been fished out sort of thing.
Oh, just not really that far around.
You get the odd one, but
Yeah.
not very often. But if you jag one, they're fantastic eating and you're allowed to get any size now. You don't, you've got to take the one that comes out of the water now.
Yeah.
You can't put them back.
Yeah, and it's
Yep.
have they moved it to one per year? Is that happening or is
Per person and 2 per boat still, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a 5 on the boat with licenses. You can only get 2.
Okay, yes, fine. Yeah.
I think pretty soon it's going to be 0. So enjoy the ones you catch now.
I got a sneaky suspicion. I think most fishermen across the state have a sneaky suspicion they're just going to say that's enough.
Yeah.
And again, stop it for a fair few years to try to
Boost
replenish
it
the
back
stock,
up.
do more research, get more evidence to suggest if we're hurting the fishery or the stock, all that sort of stuff. And that's a very reasonable thing to do, I feel.
Go to Quabba more often then. You don't have to worry about catching jewies.
Yeah, nothing
No.
up there, no Jewies up there.
No
mate.
Jewies
yeah.
up there.
But
So,
Quabba has its own issues, as most of Shark Bay in that area. I think most fishermen are aware of how prolific the shark problem is up there and the never-ending problems of having to deal with the weather. As a cliff fisherman, you don't have the privilege of like having a boat in such a way. So like we're very susceptible to, because every single factor that goes into when you go out fishing plays a part, such as swell, tide, visibility, wind, everything plays a part. So
Yeah.
to get all these stars aligning for that perfect weather, it's quite rare.
Yeah.
You're always fighting something. And when you're on the cliff, it's far more unforgiving. So when you got more swell, it's still quite difficult to land fish. Good luck landing a Spaniard on a cliff with 3 meter swell or something. Like you're probably going to pop your line or something's going to end up happening.
Mm.
And it's also unsafe. It has a safety factor as well. So you do have to think about life or fish. And most fishermen tend to
Choose the fish.
choose, fish, which you do see, unfortunately. And most fishermen, when I was younger, even I would sometimes prioritize the fish. Nowadays, I'm like, nah, there's plenty of fish in the ocean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you have to really push that into the minds of people. Just fish comes second. Focus on your safety first. It's fine. There's plenty of fish. There's never going to be a shortage of big Spaniards. They're going to be there. You just have to just take your time and be safe.
What sort of leader do you use when you're up there?
Depends on the
Conditions.
no, not the conditions. More like what setup you're using. So
Yeah.
if you're using for bottom bouncing, you can use about 100 to 120 pound, and that's enough sort of thing. And you have the big long line with an FG knot that pretty much everyone's using these days, or that's what most experienced people are using because of you can cast the knot. Whereas like if you do an Albright or a double uni, you can't cast that, and so it just destroys your guides. And
Yeah.
it doesn't. No one does that these days. So you have the FG knot, and that's for kind of focused on your bottom bashing and your spinning. With your spinning, you will use like a 60 pound sort of setup, 60, 80 pound if you're feeling a bit sort of thing. It's fine, like not a big deal. And then you got your leader on your balloon gear, which is generally a bit heavier duty.
Yep.
So you can go up to that 150. You got plenty of room on the reel. You do
Yep.
lose like a 30 TW pen, or if you really want, we got the 50 TW if we need to. I don't really want to use it because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And we never really had a problem with catching our Spaniards, which is quite fortunate for us. And then with the leader allows you that extra forgiveness, especially with bottom balancing. If you have a really short leader, so you can cast, and this is the problem with using any other knot but the FG, you have a short leader and you catch like a 5 kilo baldy, you're going to get done every time. But if you have a really long leader, use the FG, cast your knot, doesn't really affect the casting distance too much. You're still throwing out a 10-0 sinker with a hook, with an 8-0 hook or something. A gamakatsu is what we use, just purely because how sharp they are. But other people use octopus hooks, and both are acceptable. But we like the gamakatsu because it's sharp. It's just supremely sharp.
Yeah.
And that extra bit of leader gives you an extra bit more wiggle room. And it doesn't matter how, like, we use full lock drag, or I use full lock. My dad probably won't, but I will. And it doesn't matter even if you use that sort of setting, they're still going to be able to get into the hole.
Yep.
And so you got to pull them out of the hole.
Yeah,
You got to pull them out of the
you got to
reef
work
plate.
it.
Yeah, so
Yep.
and that, but you'll see, like at the end of your fishing sort of day, you'll look at your leader and go, it's all frailed, it's all messed up, and that's because those baldies, those pinkies, they don't really want to die. You know what I mean?
No.
So they're going to do everything they can to
Want to
survive.
go back where they were.
Yeah. So
They only just come out for a sneaky feed and they've got a hook.
Bang.
next minute they got John Di Giusto or Ray Di Giusto trying to pull them up for fillets, not fun.
Yeah.
Sort of meat production mentality. That's literally what we think. We just want to get meat in the freezer,
Yep.
catch our bag limit, and go. All right, that's it now. Next.
Favourite fish to eat?
I like estuary cod. Estuary cod's really nice. It's always been a favourite of mine since I was a boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm never really been much of a complainer with, as long as it's not like herring. There's some of the herring's okay sometimes, but
Chunk's been having it for lunch, mate. My pickled herring.
yeah, I
that
saw
was
it
down
in the
down
fridge. That's why I kind of retracted my words, because I was like, part of me wants to eat it to see what pickled
It's
herring's
about 4
like.
months old
No,
now.
it's
Getting
good.
better, isn't it?
It's good now, yeah.
The older it gets, the better
It
gets.
wasn't as good as what it is.
Is it what? Is it like really salty sort of thing, or is it?
Yeah, I like salty stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's got a few herbs
I'll eat
and
Vegemite out of
spices.
the jar.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah.
Don't put that on my herring either, mate. all right?
No, it's just nice and firm,
yeah.
nice and firm now. Whereas at the start it was like, it's not quite as salty, but a little bit,
There's a question that we asked every guest.
Yep.
An eating experience that you think that other people would enjoy that a lot of people probably wouldn't get to have. Is there anything out there that in your travels that you've found that's an exceptional eating experience?
I'm trying to think.
Maybe this could be Brad's abalone, which has been smashed to smithereens with a hammer or something.
I remember
Nothing like that,
I
mate?
remember eating Brad's abalone on one of the beaches, just slicing it like a bunch of nutters, just eating it raw and trying to convince ourselves it tastes nice. But
Yeah.
I remember, if you ever get to catch a little tuna off the cliff, I have this very fond memories of catching tuna off the cliff in the morning, and you quickly fillet it, you take the shoulder, and you just sit. I just remember sitting there with my legs hanging off the cliff, and I'm just carving up the tuna and eating it with a bit of soy sauce.
Fantastic.
It's just straight out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
And I just remember just thinking, this is such a great experience, and what more do I want?
Yeah.
I can't really complain. So if anyone can really go catch a tuna off the cliff and go through that whole journey, sometimes just take it easy. Cliff fishing, it's its own experience in itself. Just
You
take
don't
it
even
easy.
need to start a fire. You can just eat it like
You
that.
just eat it
Yeah.
as it is. Just quickly fill it up. Doesn't take long. I mean, if you never filleted a fish, then a bit different story. It can take a while. But
So you've been to Dirk Hartog a few times? Or?
been to Doak Hardog many times.
Have you?
Yeah. It's pretty much our number one spot we like to go to now.
So apart, we don't want to give all the hidden spots away, but
No, we're talking about the main stuff. Everyone knows the main stuff, so we were just talking
where's
about
the
those.
main stuff on Dirk Hartog?
So a lot of people go to the block.
The block.
The block is a well-known spot, and so that's a nice little ledge for a lot of new people to go to. It's quite forgiving. The wind in Western Australia is, as we all know, sort of southwesterly. It's like the Fremantle Doctor, and the rock is the block is an ideal spot to fish off for a lot of
So
people.
that would be on the west side,
It
into
is.
the open ocean
Yes,
side,
yes.
not
We-
the Denham side.
Yeah, we do not
Yep.
fish the Dedham side at all.
Right,
No,
so it's the open ocean side. Yep.
we always fish the cliff. Yeah,
the west. Yeah.
If I ever get dragged out beach fishing, I immediately start thinking about how bad it is.
Yep.
And I've had, a few good experiences catching fish off the beach, but it's just never been like cliff fishing. That's the real stuff,
Yeah.
But that's
adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, well, you have to like pay attention and you have to like,
Yep.
Yeah, it's just different sort of fishing.
Effort goes into it.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, they don't really want to be standing at the edge of for example, some of the fishing ledges are 46 meters high. No one wants to be standing at the edge of that going,
especially me.
Yeah, going, oh, this is great. Let's catch more pinkies. Most people go like, this is terrifying. Why am I here? Whereas like, me and my dad are just like, let's bag out sort of mentality.
Yeah.
So
this is what we like.
It's what we like, yeah. But I think it's turned into it's obviously been a father and son thing.
And that off of the block, that mainly ballooning, that sort of thing too?
You can balloon, you can bottom bounce, and you can spin.
Yeah, right.
So it's a really, really beginner-friendly spot for all ages.
Can you camp there or you camp close by?
You camp at the there's a shed there.
Yes.
Some people camp in the shed. I would not recommend that because it's too hot. You're away from the wind.
Yep.
Recommend getting swags and sleeping outside of there. That way you get the wind to cool you down.
Yeah.
Now we go up in summertime, generally due to my schedule. We would like to do winter trips, but that's a nice little spot as a little base camp.
Less people up there in summer.
No, there's no one. Yeah, you won't see anyone.
Because it's hot and windy.
Oh, we had some absolute shocking trips one time. I remember one. We had an easterly up there in summertime. So as you can imagine, not supposed to have easterlies in northern Western Australia. So we had an easterly, and I don't know how to explain this to you. It was unbearably hot. Like me and the old boy and a couple other people were sitting there in our jocks going, can't get away from it because normally you just go out there, go to the water.
No, it's pretty desolate out there.
It's just it was we bagged out. It was a great trip, but minus that heat factor because nothing was getting cold. Couldn't have a cold solo. It was just really, really uncomfortable. I remember thinking, man, if we weren't bagging out, I'd be like,
let's go home.
Yeah, this is not fun.
Back to Shoulder Bay. That's a bit nicer.
Only one thing that was saving it.
Yeah, so Dirk Hardog's on a lot of a great spot to go to. Steep Point's probably the most beginner friendly of all three.
Really?
Yeah, Steep Point by far because all you have to focus on is ballooning and spinning. Don't really have to. You can catch demersals off the cliff, but it is by far the most user friendly. If something happens, like you fall in or something, you just go for a little swim, 500 meters, and you're on the beach.
Yep. Great place to camp there too, Shoulder Bay, places like that around there.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
yep.
The fantastic beach. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a really good camping spot. I think we're finished. Thanks, John. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chunk.
This episode is sponsored by Hooked on Middleton Beach, twice voted Australia's best fish and chips, 2018 and 2024.